retro ladies, glamour. There's nothing like this in the market. They're so attractive that people go, wow, I have to have those cans. We sold one of each to a buyer in the UK. And they actually had to drink the wine and then ship the empty cans to the States to go and take part in a museum. Wine, CBD, I can't see anything that says wine and CBD. So decided to create the Rebel Wine.
I'm not drunk, I
Hello and welcome to Kitchen Tales, the podcast where we talk to a number of guests around the local area. We also talk about our businesses as well. Colline, hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you, Colline?
I am
All good?
I am excited because the guest that we have today speaks to the Colline of 2026. Because as you know, I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah.
I've never really been into drinking. Even when I went to uni, a lot of my friends get surprised that I spent 3 years in uni and I lived on a little bit of Red Bull, but grape juice.
Yeah.
I used to get drunk on apple juice. But since having children, since becoming an adult now, I feel like I'm a proper adult. I've been enjoying wines, Rhona. I have been enjoying wine. So my partner, he likes a red wine. I really like rosé, some spritz, that sort of thing. And when I saw the guest that we have today, it got me really excited.
Yeah, it's really
so
exciting.
I'm really excited to introduce you guys to Amanda from Wine Ltd. How are you today, Amanda?
I'm really good, thank you. And thanks for having us along and enabling us to bring our fabulous ladies with us.
Oh, it's
Thank
wonderful.
you very much. I'm not too sure if everyone can see, but we've got some fabulous ladies that are on this branding, and Amanda's going to tell us a little bit more about it. Tell us how this business came together.
Well, I've been lucky to be involved in the business for a few years now. Not the creator of this, Rupert, decided that as a wine merchant and having some, he was lounging around one day, having had a sort of a medical challenge, thinking, CBD. He was reading a lot, saw CBD, again the CBD word, and thought, hang on a minute, wine, CBD, I can't see anything that says wine and CBD. So decided to create the Rebel Wine. And we introduced the three main variants, sort of 2020-ish. And then the 2 spritzers came a little bit later. So they're half the alcohol, but just as much flavour and delicious. So that's really where our roots stand. And they're designed really to be a bit of fun or a lot of fun, depending on how much you drink.
I love that. Well, they are a lot of fun from just looking alone.
It's so beautiful. Can I
so
actually pick
beautiful.
one up?
You
Can I
can,
just
yes.
pick?
Absolutely.
Just to show.
Yeah.
I mean, this, the
What
colours.
is the design inspiration behind these? Because I absolutely love it. I also show it on a bigger one. You've got all these ladies. Tell us a bit about the design inspiration to have these fabulous ladies. I'm not great at knowing what period. Is it 60s, 50s?
It's sort of 60s.
Yes,
The
tell us
ladies,
about it.
sort of retro ladies, glamour. I think some of the inspiration came from, do you remember the Tennent's, you're far too young, Tennent's beer? There were lots of ladies on those cans going back years and years. And there's nothing like this in the market. And they're so attractive that people go, wow, I have to have those cans. And one point to note about the cans is that we sold one of each to a buyer in the UK, and they actually had to drink the wine and then ship the empty cans to the States to go and take part in a museum display.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so they are very unique.
Yeah.
And the imaging was actually done by somebody fairly local to here with Rupert's input. It was they were his designs, and the idea being that they represent a little bit of fun, a little bit of cheekiness, and a winky lady. Yeah. We did have some hologram type stickers as well, which the ladies actually did wink on those, and they were great for going up on glass windows and tills, and so there were a number of different reasons where you'd stick those, but the idea being that they're a little bit of fun, they're a little bit cheeky, saucy,
They're rebels.
and beautiful. They are rebels, absolutely. And whether they've got hats or not, it's the glamour, the costumes, the retroness of the imaging. And it's one of the first things that people comment on actually before they've even got to taste the wine.
Taste the wine.
Yeah.
Well, I think about now it's time for us to taste the wine.
Yeah,
then you
love
can
to
ask more
taste
questions.
them.
I would like to try
Yes.
the white wine spritz right there.
This one?
Yes, please.
Yes, start with
Can
the
I get a
low one.
glass?
Start
Yeah.
Glass to
with
glass.
the lower alcohol one.
I think this is the time where we probably have to say drink responsibly.
Drink definitely. Drink responsibly. I mean, the beauty of the spritzers, of course, is half the calories, half the alcohol,
Amazing.
and the fact
pour
that
this.
they absolutely taste delicious. So the wine
thank you.
is mixed with the water, and then it's spritz. So
then
we
it's spritz.
carbonate it
Okay.
afterwards. So
Afterwards.
it's super fizzy.
It smells
So yeah, have a smell.
divine.
So
Have a smell and then I'll
Yeah.
talk a bit more about it.
yeah,
Smell is wonderful.
This is dangerous.
it's dangerous for a Monday morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's gone past 12 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the idea of the spritzers, people were sort of demanding something that was a little less calorific than a glass of wine.
Yeah.
CBD, we can't make any medical claims. We're not medics. We can't make any medical claims.
I'm not drunk, I promise.
But, we do know that it has CBD in its own right, has health benefits.
Yeah.
And we can talk about some of those a little bit further down the line. But obviously 10 milligrams that's in each container. So they're 200 mils of
Yep.
wine or liquid spritzer, as we say in that one. So the actual hemp that's derived from comes from Colorado. So it's a very high quality.
Yeah.
It's one of the locations where the best quality hemp is grown. So we've gone for the best quality, and it's then made into a powder form. And during research in creating the product, the best powder was produced. And another myth, a myth about CBD is that it's hallucinogenic and it's addictive. This doesn't have any of the THC in it that would. It's a minor trace, because that's illegal in this country. CBD isn't. It doesn't increase your appetite. It doesn't do any of those things that people think about. Marijuana, which is of the same family, but that does obviously have the THC element in it. But we can't sell that here. So this is purely as a relaxant. I guess this one is the most. So the relaxing wine, the effect of the wine with the relaxing effect of the CBD combined together. And CBD in itself has quite a bitter taste. If you were to just have it on its own, it has a bitter taste, but that doesn't come through in the wine.
No, it doesn't.
The only thing you may see in there, and actually they look pretty good from here where I'm looking, is a slight opaqueness to it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't detract from the
yes,
flavour.
okay.
Yeah. So you might see that when you pour it out. And obviously they're in cans. You'd expect them to be used and drunk from the cans.
Yeah.
So taking them here, it just makes it slightly easier to drink when you're in this
Yes,
situation,
yeah.
rather than
Especially
tipping
when
up
you're
a full.
sharing,
Yes.
yeah. See, I
Exactly.
can see me and my girls on the train and someone
Yes.
saying, "What are you drinking?"
Absolutely.
Because just looking at it as well, as you said, so in here, this only has 69 calories, 200 mils, and it's 5.5% volume. That is
Yes.
very impressive.
It's good.
I know a
isn't
little
it?
bit
That's
about
very good.
calories.
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah,
really,
that's
really
very
good.
good.
Yeah, it's very good, and you don't feel quite so guilty about
Guilty
having
about
it. Then,
it, yes.
Yeah.
The other great thing about the spritzers, particularly, I use them in cocktail making. So I'm also
Yes, I
getting
was
my
about
little
to
bit of CBD hit with my
Yeah.
Aperol spritz. So I will put that instead of Prosecco and instead of fizzy water, which are sort of tend to be the other ingredients for an Aperol or a gin and tonic or a cocktail. So we did do a series of cocktails with them as well. And the main variants, there's a few things that you can do, but obviously that detracts from the main wine itself.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
But the
is
spritzers
fantastic.
are great. And
Honestly, I like it. This is my kind of thing.
It is, it's
Good.
very
Because it's
good.
nice and light.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really nice and light. This is for the starters like myself who are just getting into drinking. And
But
not-
also the new generation, they don't drink as much.
Yes, they don't.
And so, and it's very, very different. So
it's exactly what you were
good.
saying about being at university.
Yeah.
We are finding, and initially we did feel that these would be a great thing to introduce into universities, but actually a lot of younger people are very concerned about the amounts that they potentially could drink and actually don't drink as much.
No, they don't.
But there is a half alcohol version for those that wish to try something a little bit
I
different.
think us millennials and before will make up for it.
Yes.
Who probably drink on their behalf. So it's fine.
Definitely.
I know. And where can you buy?
Yeah.
So this is purely online at the moment.
Right.
So we had a few retail outlets, but it's actually better that we keep it
In-house.
in-house. Yeah. So rebelwine.co.uk.
Okay, that's what you can get
We have a discount code that we'll get you to share with your listeners as well,
Yes.
your
That'd be
viewers,
really
so
good.
that they can go online and buy some for themselves and take it home.
Yeah.
And
They're
obviously,
made very locally. Do you actually do all the production in Andover?
we don't know. So the wines are South African.
Amazing.
So we introduced those. So going back to Rupert introducing Rebel Wine,
Yeah.
he was a wine merchant, having bought back lots of fabulous award-winning wines in their own right from South Africa. So 3 of those wines were used to create the Rebels, the main variants. So you have the red, the white, and the rosé. So the red wine is made from a Merlot. The Sauvignon Blanc is the white wine, and the rosé is a Merlot. Obviously as a rosé, not as a red. So they're very strong wines in their own right. They're full variants, so they vary between 13 and 12.5%.
Oh, that's okay.
So you can open one of those in a moment when you finish your spritzer, and you can give those a go.
I'm
So
already tipping things all over the place. Can I open the Merlot so I can smell it?
Is it this one?
yes,
This
the
one?
Merlot,
Yeah, the red, obviously.
red.
The red.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah. I really
we went
wanna smell
back
it.
for a second brew of that one.
gonna
So
try.
yeah, she's going straight for the can this time.
Yeah.
To exactly how it was designed. So, picnics, picking them up, putting them in your
like
pocket.
this a lot.
It's lovely, isn't it? So
You
it's
are converting me to red wine, you know that, right?
Well-
Because I'm
Oh,
not
do
a
you
fan
not
of red
drink
wine.
red wine? I mean,
No.
very light.
I'm very
red
much a
wine.
cocktail girl
Are you?
and
Okay.
everything. This is really nice. So this is 13%.
That's 13%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a full variant, and as I say, as a
really
red
good.
wine, it does sell well in its own right, and an award-winning wine
Yeah.
as well. So it lends itself, and again, the great thing, it takes in that CBD. You can't taste the CBD, and actually, if you were to pour that one, you wouldn't see the opaqueness because it is a very strong colour in itself. So
Yeah.
that is my personal favourite. I think
But that,
most
I
people
actually
like
prefer
that one.
this one.
Oh,
yeah,
do you
definitely
to that
because
one?
this
Yeah.
one is very the first one is very light and sort of like introductory.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
this,
this
is
is-
absolutely.
This is
It's
brilliant.
delicious, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Absolutely
So
fantastic.
one of those, I mean, we talk about with CBD, we talk about the relaxing effect of CBD and the relaxing effect of the CBD with the red wine because it's a slightly bolder red wine. One of those for me in the evening is like having 2 glasses of wine.
Okay.
And of course, at 200 mils,
Yeah.
you could have 3. If
Yeah.
you really like to drink your wine, you're not drinking a bottle of wine
No.
then.
Yeah.
The temptation to go home at the end of the day and pour a glass of wine out of a bottle and then think, oh, just have a little top up.
Yeah.
No temptation with a can because if you think, no, I'm not going to open another can.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had enough.
This is already-
This
Yeah.
is enough.
I like that.
So there's many benefits to having those cans. They're all made.
And it's healthier.
It's much healthier, yes.
Lower in calories.
Lower in
Very low in
yeah.
calories.
So the red is a full variant. So
Yeah.
that's full calories per
calories,
can.
yeah.
It's just the spritzers that only have the
spritzers,
half.
yeah.
Yeah. So they are the benefit
Yes,
of the reduction of calories, but the
It's
full
really
variants are a full glass of wine.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm impressed by is that since you're running like around 2020, the fact that you already have like a full range,
Yes.
Yeah.
that is really impressive because technically you're still a young company.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about, so what's your relationship to Rupert? We
So-
need to know a little bit more.
So Rupert and I happen to live in the same village.
Oh,
so
brilliant.
we've been fellow villagers for a very long time now. So that's how it's sort of the relationship is there,
Yeah.
and Deanie and Rupert
Yeah.
are very good friends. So we had that before I went to work for Rupert and Deanie
Yeah.
during the COVID period actually. So I was undergoing a bit of a change at home and had the opportunity to work alongside Rupert and Deanie to really bring this to the market.
Yeah.
So, but we've been all over the place. I mean, we've had the opportunity to go out to some amazing events. We've been mostly festivals. We went to one in Gloucester called the Soul Circus, which was all about yoga retreats and holistic well-being, and that has gathered some momentum in the last few years. And of course, just as we were coming out of COVID, people were really looking after their health, and so the opportunity to go to Soul Circus and take our fabulous rebels with us, and people absolutely loved it. And we were bringing CBD to people who had never
never heard
consumed
of
it before.
Yeah.
We were also bringing people to the CBD to people who had CBD but not in
Not in
wine
this
format.
format. Yeah.
So we are the only alcoholic beverage around at the moment with CBD in it.
I think you're ahead of the game because,
Yeah.
like, you go into Tesco's or
Yes.
other supermarkets, they're trying to do just like the spritzers with a bit of CBD. I haven't seen anyone do what you're doing. So revolutionary in my eyes because
it's it's a
incredible.
natural relationship between wine and CBD because the wines are, as I say, award-winning in their own right. Bring the CBD in and you've got a great drink. And that's what, we're trying to get over to people that this is, a different way to take your CBD, because you can go and get gummies and you can have drops, and we will be introducing those in due course. So that's our next project. And of course, they'll be just as fabulously branded. So we're working on that in the background. But by bringing out the wines, we're really doing something that nobody else has done yet. And yes, there are drinks in the domain out in the high street that are not alcoholic, and people are enjoying those and embracing those, but people absolutely love the wine. The fact that they can have their CBD dose with their wine is
it just
absolutely,
works out really well. So what are the benefits of CBD, if you can tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, so obviously, again, going back to the fact that we're not medics, but we've, during our sort of trips out and, the promotions that we've done at festivals, we've talked to a wide range of people, and people have I had one lady, she was a nurse, she ran up to me and said, "Oh my goodness, CBD and wine." She said, "How absolutely amazing." And she turned out to be a fibromyalgia nurse for the NHS. And she said, "I can't say to my clients yes when they ask me, can I take CBD?" And she said, "I'm almost shaking my head and nodding my head at the same time because I can't tell them to take it." But she said, "I know that the benefits of this." And then in the next person to come along is somebody who is a fibromyalgia sufferer and has 3 different strengths of vape to help her get through the symptoms of, or to help her to help her manage the symptoms of her fibromyalgia by 3 different vapes. And she said, "Oh my goodness, I love wine. I love, the CBD really helps me." So she was really, really engaged. So we know that the relaxing effect is having some major, and I think that's probably when you do have a long-term condition, I think you can become very stressed by it.
Exactly.
And, it's the CBD can be that relaxant that helps you to cure. It's an anti-inflammatory. So, some people will take Nurofen. Some people will take CBD. Some people build up a CBD in their life. So they'll have drops in the morning, drops at night. It does help you to sleep. I alluded earlier to the fact, one can of red for me is like 2 glasses of wine because it contains the CBD element. So osteoarthritis, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, it is great for all of those. So CBD in its own right. It's not hallucinogenic. It's not going to get you addicted. And it has lots and lots of positive benefits as to why you would take it. And of course, one of the favourite things that we like to say is, again, not being a medic, but, cures your hangover before you even get one.
I love that.
So we do love that. That is probably our favourite fact.
I like that.
A lot of people can relate to that one.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking that fact where most people would have 2 glasses, you can have wine. So immediately, if you're loving your 2 glasses of wine, if you're somebody who's watching your calories or anything like that, you're just having one and having similar effects to having 2.
Absolutely.
I think that's a game changer for a lot of people. So
I think so. So it's a great way of reducing, but it's also a great way of taking just a fun drink out. When you're, if you're out with your friends, you can be going to a race meeting, you can be going to on a picnic with your family, you can be going to the beach. These cans have been everywhere. We've got a few pictures of them at the beach at a festival. They slip them in the pocket. In a lot of places you go now, you can't take glass with you. So these are a great way of taking them, and they're easily disposable. 70% of the cans that we have are made out of responsibly resourced tins that have been recycled. So we're bringing those back in. So there's a whole sustainability piece there as well.
So are they all vegan?
Yes.
The wines?
Yes,
Okay.
the wines
That's
are all
an
vegan.
important one. So Jim and Kate were the owners of this wonderful studio, they're vegans. So
yes,
they can try some of this.
I was
Definitely.
thinking of that. And then just anyone else as well who's got that dietary requirement, then that's really good. So how much do they retail at? How much are they sold for?
They are £30 for 6, and there are other options to buy on the website. So you can
look
go
at
on there. So
I think that's a really fair price for them.
That's
because
very
on
good.
average, just like a normal, if you're buying like a little
Can
it's usually like between the £4 mark, roughly there. But
Yes.
these have CBD in them.
They do.
So actually having that at that retail price, I think is very fair.
It's fair. I think, the CBD has to go through a major process.
Yeah.
The wine and the CBD has to go through a process, and then they have to be canned. So, it's not a cheap process, but CBD is of high quality. It's high value. So, so yeah, they are. We think they are great.
I'm
value.
really impressed.
Yeah, it's
Thank
very
You
good.
get to customize me.
And can I
Brilliant.
ask you a bit more about the design? Because this gift pack, it's a gift pack,
It's a
isn't
gift
it?
pack, absolutely,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just stunning. Can you just tell us a bit more about it?
Yes, of course. Yeah. So,
the ladies.
the ladies, our fabulous ladies. So the inspiration from these came from an artist called Alberto Vargas, who was a very famous pop art artist back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, sort of then edging into the 60s. And Rupert found one particular image that was where he wanted to position these cans as inspirational, and that was of the actress Jane Russell. And there was a painting of her that really started this off. Rupert then sourced an artist, Fiona Stevenson. She's actually based up in Yorkshire somewhere, and she created these fabulous designs, one per can, so they're all very individual, very different, and really epitomised. And they were when the pictures came through, it was like positioning, this one was going to suit this wine, this one will suit this wine.
And I can see it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, they're
really
sort of-
showing.
Exactly.
It's
It
really
is.
showing.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic, because I think when it comes to business, both of us run our own businesses, just having that branding is also just as important as whatever product that you have
Definitely.
in, because it really draws people in. And I
You've
think
got
you
it
guys
right.
have done a fantastic job with this.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And, there was an argument about whether there should be guys on there dressed in a very similar style, but the feedback was that women buy from beautiful packaging,
Yes.
and if they see an image on there, they're going to look at that as much. And as I say, the images are probably one of the first thing that is commented on when people, and that's across the spectrum. And actually, mostly it's ladies who say,
I think so.
love
I
the
think so.
packaging.
I think so.
And
I don't think
then a guy
men-
can also want to go and buy this because they're like,
Absolutely,
ooh,
yeah.
ladies.
Yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean? So it
yes.
actually
Yeah.
it suits
So-
everybody. I think it's great. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
you've done a fantastic job, and
Thank
you're a
you.
great representation for this brand.
No, they are great.
And wishing you guys all the best. You've got a customer in me. And if you just want to say the website again, where people can be able to buy these.
Yeah, it's rebelwine.co.uk, and you can buy these fabulous gift packs on there as well. So you can get 3 cans in here. You can choose the mix as well. So you can put in 3 white, 3 rosé, 1 of each, however you want to build up your
Wonderful.
package.
Thank
Makes a
you,
great
Amanda.
gift.
Thank you very
I
much.
appreciate it, and wonderful to meet you.
Thank you.
Before we finish the podcast, we are always asking our guests what they're going to have for dinner, just because we are foodies.
Yeah.
And running our catering businesses, we are always inspired by what other people are having for dinner.
Okay.
Tell us what you're having for dinner tonight.
So tonight, well, there's a bit of a toss-up. My daughter and I currently co-share. So one option is we grow fresh asparagus outside the office. So I'm thinking that maybe fresh asparagus with maybe a chicken Kiev, but using wild garlic with butter.
yummy.
So that's
Wonderful.
one option. And the other one is one of our favourite midweek meals, which we make with, it's cucumber sushi with mackerel inside. So haven't quite decided, it's one of those things like, is it a sushi night, or is it
Both?
is it something a little bit more
Right.
elaborate? And it will depend how much time we have at the end of the day. So that'll be a rolling one. I mean, maybe tomorrow. Who knows what's going to
And which can are you having?
that will be an interesting one. So great question. I think
indeed.
tonight, I mean, the rosé is one of my favourites. I
Right.
mean, the red is my ultimate favourite, but if I'm having chicken tonight, it's summer, the sun's out, so I'll probably go for a rosé tonight.
Yes, good.
Neatly chilled in the fridge. Potentially a spritz, but yeah, I do like the rosé. So probably with the rosé tonight. Yeah.
Thank you
that.
very much,
Thank
Amanda.
you very
Lovely
much.
to chat to you.
Rhona, what are you going to have, and which wine would you pair what you're having with?
We are having lamb tagine tonight.
Nice.
Homemade lamb tagine. A client requested it yesterday, so I made some extras for us with some couscous. Now, which one would you recommend then? So it would have to be probably the
You're going to have
the
to go
red.
for the red.
For the red.
Definitely.
It's red.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Be spot
That
on.
will be perfect. Yeah,
Spot on. Thank you.
definitely.
Yes, yes. And what are you having tonight?
So we're actually having some sea bass. So we're doing a sea bass, and I'm doing like an orzo medley with lots of vegetables. And I'm thinking the rosé or the rosé spritz.
Great choice.
Yeah. Or maybe even the white wine.
All of them.
yes,
So many
yeah,
options.
all of them.
One of each.
All of it.
You need one in each and then see how you feel later.
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely, obviously, with a fish dish or a chicken,
Exactly.
white and rosé.
White and rosé would go well.
Definitely is sort of more traditional, but I do find myself sometimes sneaking into a red domain, even when it's not necessarily red wine time.
It's like,
So
why not? That is fantastic. Are you guys on social media? I forgot to ask that.
we are Rebel
Yes.
Wine UK.
Rebel Wine UK.
You can find us on Instagram and on Facebook and
Fantastic.
at TikTok as well.
Amazing.
Okay.
Really good to see that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Wonderful to meet you. Can't wait to enjoy the wines.
Yes.
And for those that are watching or listening to us, thank you very much. You can find us on all platforms. You can find podcasts. You can find us on YouTube. We're also on Instagram at kitchen.tales.podcast, and share with all your loved ones and look back at all the other episodes that you missed out on. Thank you.
Thank you very much.